We'll see you right here at 7.
Let us put the good in your morning every weekday at 7 on Fox 14.
Local school districts work on their plans for the upcoming school year as it quickly approaches. I'm Zach Dodge with what the State Department of Education is recommending coming up.
U.S. troops officially moved from fighters to advisors in Iraq. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have details straight ahead.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Warner. 3 suspects in an Oklahoma murder are connected to a murder in Lamar. Those suspects, David Morris, Trey Ackerson, and Lane Bronson, are charged with murder in Barton County in July of 2020. They're also in custody. Now, they're also connected with a murder in Mays County, Oklahoma. Now, those 3 people are among 11 that are now charged in connection with the kidnapping and death of Osage Nation resident Jolene Walker Campbell. Ackerson and Bronson are 2 of 4 suspects that were charged on Friday. Campbell's body was discovered in Mays County in July of 2020. Now, according to the indictment, the defendants suspected that Campbell was a federal informant. Prosecutors in Barton County, Missouri, had already charged Morris, Ackerson, and Bronson with second-degree murder for the shooting death of Terry Harless in Lamar. That murder also occurred in July of last year. And there's been some confusion online with another case, the 3 escapees from McDonald County. Those 3 men who escaped Saturday night are not related to the 3 involved in the Barton and Mays County murders. These 3 men, Shontavian Thomas, David Molina, and Carmelo Burgos, escaped from McDonald County Jail Saturday night. Officials say they're still on the run and are considered armed and dangerous. If you see them, you're urged to call 911. Do not approach them. Authorities want to remind folks to keep their homes, outbuildings, and vehicles locked. Hot, humid, muggy, miserable. Doug Heady joins us.
Yeah, another hot day for us today. Plus, the humidity has gone up a little bit over the past couple days, and that is going to be the trend as we go through the next few days. 93 for a high, above our average high of 91, started at 72 during the morning hours. We have had some thunderstorms out to the west, so we are getting some of those overshooting tops of those storms, some of those clouds, which have kind of worked in, but they'll clear up later on tonight. We do have a few scattered little thunderstorms northeastern parts of Oklahoma, but most of the general area is staying dry at this point in time. Temperatures warm. We're into the lower 80s, but it gets hotter the next few days. We're going to break that down for you here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thank you. With the heat index reaching dangerously high levels, the city of Joplin has announced it's opening cooling centers. The centers are open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Those cooling centers are located at City Hall, the Joplin Health Department, the Public Safety Center, and the Joplin Athletic Center. The Jasper County Health Department says another 3 more residents have died with COVID-19. The patients were 2 women in their 60s and 90s and a man in his 50s. These latest deaths bring the county's total to 172. The current surge in COVID-19 cases in the area has school districts taking a hard look at their plans for the upcoming school year, especially as the Missouri Department of Education releases new recommendations that largely leave the final say up to those districts. KOAM's Zach Dodge spoke with the Neosho School District to hear what challenges they face as students prepare to head back to school.
The halls of Neosho High School may be emptying out, but in just a few short weeks, they'll be filled with students. Meaning the pressure is on for district leaders to decide how schools will reopen.
Once we started seeing the rise in cases, we had to go back and kind of rethink.
Rethinking those back-to-school policies is what they're in the middle of now.
Just taking in information right now.
On Friday, more information came out from the State Department of Education. They recommend social distancing, having unvaccinated students wear masks indoors and when playing sports, use screen testing, and continue contact tracing. But most of it is just that, recommendations, leaving the final decision up to each school district and local health officials.
I think DESE has realized that communities didn't respond so well last year to some of the mandates and some of the expectations.
Another big change from last year to now, there are some students and teachers who are vaccinated and some who aren't. with different recommended guidance for each. Cummins says navigating that situation without creating division is going to be their biggest hurdle.
We don't want to create a vaccinated versus unvaccinated rift, but by the same token, we want to encourage people to get the vaccine and do things that will help us stay safe.
They'll have to iron it out pretty quickly since they want to have plans finished by August 9th. In Neo Show, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
The CDC has mandated that all school bus passengers and drivers wear face coverings. The Berry County, Missouri Health Department is closed until further notice. A post on the department's Facebook page says it's due to an increase in COVID-19 cases. The county says WIC recipients will receive a call from department officials to complete their appointments. People seeking all other services should contact neighboring health departments, and those who want a COVID-19 test should contact their doctor or neighboring health department. The Department of Veterans Affairs is the first major federal agency to require healthcare workers to get COVID-19 vaccines. At the VA, vaccines will now be mandatory for certain medical personnel, including physicians, dentists, podiatrists, optometrists, registered nurses, physician assistants, and others who work in departmental facilities or provide direct care to veterans. Employees will have 8 weeks to get vaccinated. Construction crews are busy working at the Joplin Regional Airport. Work started on Thursday to rebuild the airport's main runway. The $14.5 million project is 100% paid for through CARES Act funding. The airport has been closed during the work, but airport manager Steve Stockham says work is ahead of schedule.
As part of this, there's a section where the two runways out here at the airport intersect. And of course, during that, in order to rebuild the runway during that intersecting point, you have to close the airport down.
The work is expected to be completed by next Monday. President Biden unveiled an agreement with Iraq's prime minister today. It's one which formalizes the role of U.S. troops as advisors instead of fighters by the end of 2021. As Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively reports, it's part of the president's strategy to move into a post-9/11 posture and bring more troops home.
A major mission change is coming for American troops in Iraq. President Biden announced the U.S. military there will shift solely to an advisory and training role by the end of the year, ending its combat mission countering ISIS in the years following 9/11.
I think things are going well.
The president made the announcement alongside Iraq's prime minister in the White House on Monday, just weeks ahead of his deadline to pull U.S. combat troops out of Afghanistan. The plan in Iraq calls for some of the 2,500 U.S. military members there to remain in country to make sure that terrorist groups don't return. The administration wants to avoid a repeat of 2011 when the U.S. pulled out troops.
We will, in fact, as I said at the outset, draw down our military forces by the end of December,
just to send them back 3 years later to battle a resurging ISIS. It's a delicate time in Iraq, with an increase in the killing of activists ahead of October's parliamentary elections and Iraqi politicians chafing at the presence of foreign troops.
What we can't do is cede the Middle East to the Iranians. We can't cede it to the Islamic State. We need to make sure that Iraq can remain strong. And so we shouldn't be setting a timeline, certainly. I am supportive of keeping those troops there.
U.S. troops had already been focused on their advisory role since 2014, but this official announcement is expected to appease the critics of the prime minister ahead of national elections. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Warren Fitch served in the Army from 1942 to 43. The Chanute, Kansas native was stationed in the Solomon Islands, and we salute Private First Class Warren Fitch, a four-state hero. Doug is next with a complete look at that forecast, and later, big changes ahead for the Big 12 involving OU and Texas. We'll have the details in sports.
What makes for a great vacation depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Do you want to feed your soul or stuff your face? Fortunately, however you operate, I've got you covered. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO?
She's the essence of country music femininity. The one and only Lori Morgan. Saturday, September 4th in the Corral at Kansas Crossing Casino. An intensely personal evening with Lori Morgan live. There's more at Lori.com. Get tickets now at KansasCrossingCasino.com. Don't miss Lori Morgan live.
We're here to introduce you to the area's newest and most exciting real estate firm.
Exciting because we're eager to show you we believe what we say. Here at Realty One Group, we stand by the belief that it's not sales, it's service.
Our fellow Americans.
Right now, the COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans.
And soon, they will be available to everyone.
The science is clear. These vaccines will protect you and those you love from this dangerous and deadly disease.
They could save your life.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
That's the first step to ending the pandemic and moving our country forward. It's up to you.
KOAM TV has an opening for a full-time news videographer. This is your chance to join the market's #1 news team. Camera, editing, and computer equipment experience is preferred. Applicants should have a good driving record and valid driver's license. Interested applicants should apply online at koamnewsnow.com/jobs and include link to work samples. KOAM TV is an equal opportunity employer.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a hot day for us today. Temperatures, they climbed into the 90s once again after most of July. This has really just been warm. We've had temperatures into the upper 80s. And then over the past 4 days, we've gone into the 90s, plus the humidity is starting to go up a little bit. So as that occurs, then you get those higher heat indices, and that's what we're dealing with this week. But quite a bit of sunshine today. We got some cumulus clouds in here during the afternoon hours, but a great time lapse. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Staying hot, staying humid, mainly dry. Weekend changes, though. We'll actually get a cold front that's going to work in. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. 79 Nevada, 82 in Neosho, 85 in Miami. We still have 85 in Chanute. So it's warm. We actually still have a little bit of a heat index. Still feels like near 90 degrees across southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. At 7th and Rangeline, looks good currently in Joplin, sitting at 82. Northeasterly winds are light. Relative humidity coming up, sitting at about 76%. Heat advisories in effect the next several days. You can see a sliver of Kansas, southwestern Missouri, all of northeastern Oklahoma. This is due to the higher temps and the higher humidity, which makes it feel hotter to your skin. And of course, when you get into those heat advisory numbers, you want to be very careful. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids, especially if you're going to be outside. Not much for most of us, but our western counties, southwestern counties have had a few isolated little guys that have popped up throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. So one just south of Grand Lake, one just to the west of Miami, and then one just to the south of Veneta, and these are starting to lose their strength as we are losing the heating of the day, so not a huge deal. But most of these guys are going to fall apart, so most of us are going to stay dry as these are forming right along a weak little boundary that's actually going to lift back toward the north tomorrow, and that's what's going to increase the humidity for us once again. And then we're going to be talking about this big dome high pressure all week long as it inches closer to us and gets us even hotter and more humid over the next few days. All right, let's go through time for us tonight. So we're stopping tomorrow morning. Mainly low to mid 70s. We have sunny skies in the morning, cumulus clouds during the afternoon, a random isolated little thunderstorm, mainly in our southern counties. Here's your day planner. Starting at 74, 89 by noon, high temp, hot, 94 degrees during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, pretty much clear skies. We do it again on Wednesday. We start mid 70s, we heat up, mid 90s. Again, an isolated little thunderstorm, hot and humid across the region. Heat indices are going to be up there about 100 to 105 degrees, the way it's going to feel to your skin tomorrow. And then again, 100 to 105 by the time we head into Wednesday afternoon. 94 tomorrow, 95 Wednesday, 96 Thursday, 97 on Friday. So we're going to make all these days alert days because we're going to be under heat advisories. And then cooling down a little bit late in the week and early next week with a few scattered thunderstorms.
It's pretty wild to be able to say that 87 is going to be cooling down.
I know. That'll be nice.
It will be. It'll feel great out there once we get there. Doug, thank you so much. Well, coming up, a recall on some electric cars and a surge in Bitcoin. Those stories and more next in our Fox Business Brief.
Tuesday morning, the mercury continues to rise. We'll see you right here at 7.
The 4 States Amputee Network strives to enhance the quality of life for our friends and neighbors, their families, and support network.
If you or someone you love has lost a limb or at risk for amputation, you're invited to join us.
We are the 4 States Amputee Network.
Science fact: sisters are the worst.
Deep thought, dingus.
Young Sheldon.
Join the battle against veteran suicide at the Charlie 22 Outdoors Dinner Banquet. It's a night of faith, fellowship, and food with free admission. Sponsorships available Saturday, August 28th at Carterville Christian Church. Contact Charlie 22 for more information.
The future depends on teachers. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there is a teacher inspiring a future scientist who will make preventing pandemics their life's work.
Sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who will help combat climate change.
And generating possibilities for a student who will become the first in their family to graduate college.
Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Shape the future. Teach.
It's Valentine's Day, and Phil and Claire are doing some sexy role playing.
Oh, glass elevators should make for an exciting view.
It will for the people on the street.
Oh my God. On the next Modern Family.
Tonight at 10, right here on Fox 14.
A recall alert for some electric car owners. Bitcoin surges after news from Amazon, and you could have a new option for retirement savings. Fox's CJ Papa has these stories and more in today's Fox Business Briefs.
General Motors is recalling over 50,000 of its all-electric Bolts for the second time. The company says a battery defect could cause a fire. Owners of 2017 to 2019 Bolts are asked to keep the cars parked outside when not being charged. The recall highlights some of the technical challenges car companies face as they race to develop more plug-in vehicles. Bitcoin prices have jumped to a 6-week high. There's speculation that Amazon might be considering some sort of relationship with Bitcoin. Amazon has posted a job opening for an expert in digital currency and blockchain strategy. Robinhood's CEO says it's looking at offering retirement accounts. This comes amid plans for the trading app to go public this week. Robinhood currently has 18 million funded investment accounts. Dressing up is back. Giorgio Armani says sales jumped 34% in the first half of this year, helped by business in the U.S. and China, though Armani says it could be next year before it fully recovers from the pandemic. And checking out, a report in the Wall Street Journal shows that as COVID restrictions ease, 79% of Americans say they will use more vacation days this year, and 82% say they will be in less contact with their jobs than on past vacations. For more stories, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm CJ Papa.
A new Bankrate.com poll reveals a large number of Americans are sitting on unused gift cards and store credits and have no intention of using them. The poll revealed the value of these unused gift cards and credits have hit roughly $15 billion in value, or $116 per person. Nearly half of those surveyed didn't plan on using all of their unredeemed funds, while at least 30% said they'll use most of the money on their gift cards. Millennials were reported to be the most likely group to have unused balances and commonly sold gift cards for cash rather than using them in store. Business owners are turning to younger employees to help fill the staffing shortages. The Associated Press says in May, more than 33% of the workforce between the ages of 16 and 19. That is the highest number since the Great Recession of 2008. Employers are also offering incentives to draw workers in, including sign-on bonuses and higher wages. Just ahead, COVID cases continuing to rise.
COVID restrictions are back as the Delta variant fuels a spike in cases. I'm Steve Harrigan in Atlanta. That story ahead.
Check out bikeallencounty.org for over 40 miles of trails and routes available. Christmas came early at Ruddick's Furniture and Flooring this year. Buy any carpet and get basic pad free. Buy any LVT or laminate and get 50 cents off installation with free in-home estimates. 7-piece living room set including sofa, love seat, 2 end tables, coffee table, and 2 lamps starting at only $9.99. Sectionals from $9.88. Caraway Platinum Queen mattress sets only $8.49 with free delivery and setup. Christmas in July at Ruddick's Furniture and Flooring across from the post office in beautiful downtown Fort Scott.
There's a reason Indigo Sky Casino is the area's gaming destination. We're just better. Every day we strive to give excellent customer service, delicious dining experience, and more exciting ways to win. During July, come play for your share of over $900,000 in total cash and gold rewards prizes. Experience for yourself why Indigo Sky Casino and Resort is just better. Highway 60 west of Seneca, Missouri. IndigoSkyCasino.com for promotion details.
The pandemic changed our world and the way we work, live, and connect. But there are better days ahead.
I'm Senator Roy Blunt. Our actions impact the health of the people we care about. Let's do our part by wearing masks, social distancing, washing our hands, and getting a COVID-19 vaccine as soon as possible.
Learn more at cdc.gov/coronavirus. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It took 30 years. And now they are here. The Yankees versus the White Sox on the Field of Dreams. August 12th, live from Iowa on Fox.
Save the date, Saturday, September 11th.
The new COVID-19 surge is accelerating and the numbers are telling the story, with the U.S. now averaging more than 47,000 new cases a day, up from 11,000 just last month. Fox News correspondent Steve Harrigan has more from Atlanta.
Mr. President, do you have confidence you can get the unvaccinated Americans vaccinated?
We have to.
President Biden once again pleading with Americans to roll up their sleeves as the new COVID-19 surge intensifies. The number of infections in the U.S. has more than tripled in the past 2 weeks, with the Delta variant spreading quickly. COVID-related deaths are up 17% from last week, and the CDC says more than 99% of those are unvaccinated.
We have to find out why people are nervous and reluctant, and 80% of those who haven't been vaccinated say they won't get vaccinated.
As they scramble to get containment, public health officials are starting to reimpose public mask mandates, but it won't be easy. St. Louis put its masking rules back into effect Monday, and a lawsuit was quickly filed by Missouri's Attorney General, who accused city leaders of ignoring federal guidelines.
Because it's completely arbitrary and capricious. By the way, that's not even what the CDC recommends.
You can still spread COVID-19 even if you are vaccinated. You can still get sick.
Some areas are going even further. New York City officials putting a vaccine mandate in place. By September, all city workers must provide proof of vaccination or get tested for COVID at least once a week.
Let's be clear why this is so important. This is about our recovery
This is about what we need to do to bring back New York City. This is about keeping people safe.
The White House also launching a program to help those with long-term disability from COVID. In Atlanta, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
As the coronavirus continues to spread, parents are facing tough choices when it comes to their child's educational needs. While some may be thrilled with the return to in-person learning, an increasing amount of parents are looking into homeschooling. Throughout the pandemic, virtual learning was the safest option, but as schools begin to reopen their doors and resume in-person learning, many parents are starting to notice the benefits of homeschooling and choosing to continue with that style of learning. According to the Census Bureau, household homeschooling rates doubled from 5.4% in April of 2020 to 11% in September of 2020. A new study highlights the importance of staying pitch perfect with mammograms for breast cancer prevention. Researchers say women shouldn't miss even one regular mammogram exam because death risk jumps much higher. The scientists studied more than 550,000 women as serial participants, those that didn't miss any exams, or serial non-participants missing one or two previous screen exams. Risk for a fatal cancer in 10 years later was 50% lower for those who didn't miss any exams. Missing one in two recent exams meant only a 29% in risk of breast cancer. A new study in pediatrics found teens who set goals for their future and have strong support from their parents are less likely to vape. Researchers say strategies to prevent vaping might differ from what works to discourage cigarette smoking. Coming up, we're going to check out a group of endangered turtles being returned to the water after being nursed back to health.
Hello, Sheldon.
Hello, Sheldon.
Young Sheldon coming weekdays in September.
Frozen, yet a Coke. Not a solid, but not a liquid. They're a paradox of deliciousness.
Cool off with any of our icy Minute Maid slushies, frozen Coca-Cola, or frozen Fanta flavors.
KOAM TV has an opening for a digital content producer. Candidates should have the ability to create and publish engaging content for the station's websites and social media accounts and develop strategies for audience engagement. Duties include researching, writing, shooting, and editing videos and photos. A 4-year degree with an emphasis in journalism or equivalent is preferred. If you are interested in working for a family-owned company and the dominant #1 station in the market, apply online by going to koamnewsnow.com/jobs. KOAM TV KFJX TV is an equal opportunity employer.
This is no time to be out of touch with the Skywatch 7 weather team. Point your smartphone at our QR code, snap a picture, and you're ready to download a weather station to go wherever you go. Get the Skywatch weather app today.
We're at our best when we stand together.
That's what Stand Up to Cancer has done.
Because you stood up with us.
Because of you.
We're making the impossible possible.
We're committed to making every cancer patient a long-term survivor.
Together,
we stand up to cancer.
Are you searching for something? All you have to do is ask.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Do try to have some fun.
Want to join me in the shower?
This is intense.
I love my job.
Let the adventure begin.
Fantasy Island, series premiere Tuesday, August 10th on Fox.
2 dealerships, 1 town. Limited lifetime powertrain warranty. Your place to save.
The Mississippi Aquarium releasing a group of endangered turtles into the Gulf of Mexico. 6 of the 75 turtles brought to Louisiana and Mississippi in the fall are back to swimming in the Gulf. The group of turtles washing up on the shores of New England, injured and sick from the cold temperatures. They are all Kemp's Ridley turtles, the smallest and most endangered of the 6 turtle species found in U.S. waters. They are the most common turtle species in the northern Gulf. The rest of the turtles will continue to be treated and will be released at a later date. We got 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Starting with Kansas City University, Joplin students, they're receiving their white coats in a special ceremony.
A bipartisan group of senators say they're close to finalizing the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, but discussions are hitting some snags. I'm Mallory Rivera in Washington with where negotiations stand coming up.
Tuesday morning, the mercury continues to rise. We'll see you right here at 7.
KOAM TV is accepting applications for a morning show producer. Excellent writing, organizational, and people skills are a must. We're looking for people who have solid news judgment and are proven leaders. Apply online at KOAMnewsnow.com/jobs and include cover letter and work samples. KOAM TV is an equal opportunity employer.
Crawford County Mental Health Center, located at 911 East Centennial in Pittsburgh, has been serving your mental health needs since 1961. We offer mental health services and substance abuse treatment programs to serve adults, children, and families in Crawford County regardless of ability to pay. We accept most insurance, Medicaid, Medicare, and offer a sliding fee scale for individuals with limited financial resources. Find us on the web at crawfordmentalhealth.org or call for an appointment at 620-231-5130.
When stress shows up, it can be hard to see. Maybe you can't sleep. Or you feel sad and you don't know why. Or maybe it's worse. Because stress can knock you down. It can hurt your health and your relationships. If you've lost a job, worry about your next meal, or have trouble making it through the day, we can help. Text STRESS to 211-211 to find a solution.
I had a bunch of knee surgeries done, and I had been taking 800 milligrams of opioids a day. Eventually, finding more opioids was all I was concerned about. I realized at that time I needed help. And in recovery, I found my purpose. Addiction is a disease of isolation and loneliness. There is a way out. You don't have to do this alone.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there is hope. Recovery is possible.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Wow, look at that! What a race! That was awesome.
The NHRA Winter Nationals, Pomona, Sunday at 4 Eastern on Fox.
Anyone wanting to pursue the medical field knows it can be tough, but those who chose to do it in 2020 at the start of a global pandemic have seen firsthand the difficulty and need to adapt that a doctor must have. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with Kansas City University Joplin students and staff about why the need for medical professionals is greater now more than ever.
Second-year Kansas City University students at the Joplin campus are officially being recognized as future doctors at the university's white coat ceremony.
Today is the class of 2024. The reason we're doing this ceremony is when they procure their white coats, they represent moving into the clinical realm of taking care of people.
The coat represents the integrity, trust, esteem, and regard for the profession. And the university says these students are needed now more than ever.
The Joplin campus was opened with the hope of acquiring future healthcare providers for the region. We recognize that not only are there shortages of primary care physicians, but there's really a need for dentists as well.
According to the CDC, rural healthcare infrastructure is limited. Since 2005, 170 hospitals have closed and 700 more are currently at risk of closure. Many rural hospitals have a limited number of hospital beds, ICU beds, or ventilators, which can affect their ability to treat patients with COVID-19. Rural residents seeking care must often travel long distances to reach hospitals, healthcare facilities, and clinical specialists. It's why medical students like second-year Louisa Amarage want to pursue the career field.
Having to start school during a pandemic, I feel as student doctors we are needed now more than ever.
She says her desire to help the public is inspired by her family's Nigerian roots.
Coming from a Nigerian background, I've just heard a lot of horror stories about poor access to medicine and the effects. So it just really made me feel as though that I wanted to pursue medicine and be able to help underserved or underrepresented communities.
Not only did these students take a huge step by working to join the medical field, they decided to do so at the start of a global pandemic. In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
162 students received their white coats after being unable to do so in person last year due to the pandemic. Today is the 31st anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, so a Nevada, Missouri organization is celebrating. On My Own Incorporated is an independent living center that helps people with disabilities. The organization hosted a lunch today to celebrate the anniversary of the legislation that helps so many of their clients.
It is all about resources and sharing information, helping people find information in regards to maybe an adaptive device that may help them be more independent in their home.
Around 40 to 50 people showed up for the lunch. The EPA says it plans to set new limits on wastewater pollution from coal power plants. The move will effectively reinstate regulations that were previously in place but were rolled back by the Trump administration. Congressional lawmakers are piecing together the final items in a bipartisan infrastructure bill. Negotiations have gone on for weeks. Democrats are hopeful, but some Republicans are concerned about the price tag and what their colleagues might plan to do once a deal is reached. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
Talks over the bipartisan infrastructure deal reaching a crucial point Monday. Republicans and Democrats still far apart on funding for transit, water provisions, and how much unspent COVID relief money to use to pay for it.
We do need to upgrade our infrastructure. Everybody agrees on that, but we shouldn't be doing with more borrowing, more deficit spending.
Democrats and the White House handed Republicans a proposal over the weekend to resolve the outstanding issues, an effort Republicans criticized. A GOP source familiar calling the offer discouraging since it attempts to reopen numerous issues the bipartisan group had already agreed to, adding that the White House needs to show more flexibility. The White House, though, still confident both sides can work out the kinks.
We will work closely with Leader Schumer to get it done. Leader Schumer has conveyed the need to move forward.
But the clock is ticking as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer aims to pass the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill and a $3.5 trillion budget blueprint before the Senate leaves for August recess.
Senators should be on notice that the Senate may stay in session through the weekend in order to finish the bipartisan infrastructure bill.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the House won't vote on the narrower infrastructure bill until the Senate delivers on the $3.5 trillion package. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
A bit later, as intense heat beats down on Olympic athletes, they may soon have another obstacle to deal with.
A typhoon threatens to cause yet more disruption for these Olympic Games. I'm Amy Kellogg in Milan, Italy, and I will have those details coming up.
Do you play at casinos and wonder why you don't win? You spend your money to earn a lot of points just to get one entry, then spend more money to earn more points to get another entry, then on and on with the slim hope of being the only one to win the big prize. Maybe you're the one getting played.
At Quapaw Casino, we don't play games, you do. Why play for a chance to win when you can just win? Play today, win today. Quapaw Casino, Miami, Oklahoma.
Hey, this is Pastor Talent. Well, it's been a crazy year, but we'd like to invite you to this year's Back to School Haircut event on Monday, August the 9th at Victory Life Church in Pittsburgh, Kansas. This year's events include Mojo's Tropical Snow, face painting, food and games, Dunk-A-Cop, Shoot the Fire Hose, and the Super Slide. Monday, August the 9th. Sign up required. Sign up on Eventbrite.
Meet Norm. He lives with anxiety, but with the help of this latest innovation from Be Normal, he can be normal, just like everyone else. With the swipe of a finger, you can project happiness, confidence, machismo. Why settle for being real when you can be normal? The Normal Maker. New from Be Normal. This item doesn't really work because there's no such thing as normal. We're all different. What we like, how our brains work. In fact, 1 in 5 of us live with mental illness. Don't filter who you are. Start by talking to someone you trust. And remember, there is no normal.
Severe weather. It can happen anytime. No matter which of our stations you're watching, you can take comfort knowing we'll be here for you. The KOAM Weather Team, here to keep you safe when severe weather strikes. Sponsored by John Cotton Roofing.
On the next Big Bang Theory.
This is an institution of higher learning. I am your professor, and you're going to treat me with the proper... You shot your spit in my mouth!
Next Big Bang.
Tonight at 10:30, right here on Fox 14.
Well, another hot day for us today, right back up into the 90s once again, like we have seen over the past 4 days, but majority of July just warm. But we aren't seeing that now. We're warming up, heating up. Humidity is rising as well, and that's what we're going to see pretty much all week long. Cumulus clouds during the afternoon, a few isolated thunderstorms in our western, southwestern counties. Most of us ended up staying dry. Great time lapse, indigo sky, casino and resort. All right, so what are we going to see this week? It's going to stay hot. It's going to stay humid. In fact, it's going to get a little hotter and a little bit more humid. Mainly dry. We are going to get some changes in here by the weekend. Of course, remember, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. Still warm. Most of us low to mid 80s, still have humidity. We still have heat indices upper 80s to near 90 degrees across the region. Looks great. 7th and range line currently outside 82. Northerly winds are light. Dew point 74. Relative humidity is sitting at 76%. Heat advisories go into effect tomorrow. Missouri, sliver of Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. This is due to the heat heating up and the humidity rising just a bit as we go through the next few days. Most of us have been dry. We've had a few random thunderstorms in western counties and then down through northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Still a couple little guys just south of Grand Lake, Veneta, just north of Veneta, but these are really dying out now that we are losing the heating of the day. So we're going to be dry tonight, but again, over the next couple days, we'll get a few isolated little thunderstorms that try to get going. These are mainly due to a weak little frontal boundary that's to our south, so that's why we have the northeasterly wind. This is going to lift north tomorrow, so we'll go back to the south wind, and that's what's going to allow our temperatures to heat up even a little bit more. All right, big dome of high pressure out across parts of New Mexico. You can see the spin. That's going to be over us all week, keeping us pretty much hot and dry. Let's step through time, clearing out tonight. We'll stop tomorrow morning, mainly mid-70s. Let's go through the daytime hours, sunshine in the morning, cumulus clouds in the afternoon, random isolated storm. So we're looking at about 4 p.m. 74 to start, 89 by noon, high temp at 94. And we are going to have 1 or 2 isolated little guys that are going to pop up. Tomorrow night, pretty much clear skies once again. We drop back mid-70s. On Wednesday, we do it again. Hot, humid, back into the mid-90s for highs. In fact, heat indices way up there, 100 to about 105 for us tomorrow. Heat indices Wednesday, way up there again, between about 100 and 105 degrees. This continues. Here's the forecast Thursday. Let's go to Friday. Hot and humid, but you can see some thunderstorms starting to inch a little bit closer to us by the time we head into the weekend. And then we get a few changes, a little bit cooler early next week. Not this week. 94 tomorrow, 95 Wednesday, 96 Thursday, 97 on Friday. High of only 87 next Monday, which sounds a lot better.
It does.
Sounds still warm, but a lot better.
Much better. Looking at your temperature map, those red colors, it just makes it feel hot in here.
Yeah, it does. I keep it at 66 in here, too.
It's still pretty warm. That's a bad thing. Doug, thank you so much. California's largest wildfire is growing after destroying more than a dozen homes over the weekend. After nearly 2 weeks, the Dixie Fire north of Sacramento is still just 21% contained. Coming up in sports, the Kansas City Chiefs are less than 48 hours away from their first full team practice at training camp. Plus, the Joplin Outlaws hit the field for a playoff game against Jeff City. Jacob Leonard's got that and more next.
We're here to help. We are the 4 States Amputee Network.
Summer is ending, kids are headed back to school, and our message is as important as ever. At Newmac Electric, we encourage you to watch out for children walking to and from school. Please keep your attention on the road. Keep an eye out for kids who may be distracted by electronics. Parents, make sure your children watch where they're going and look out for cars. Let's send kids back to school safely. A reminder from Newmac Electric, your Touchstone Energy partner.
Attention all animal lovers, Golden Paw could use your help. Kitty and puppy season is in full swing, and that means lots of little mouths to feed. Whether it be a monetary donation, donating food or cleaning supplies, or just coming out and showing some love, any donation, no matter how big or small, goes directly towards helping our fur babies on their journey to their forever home. Volunteer, donate, adopt. If you would like to make some tails wag, call or stop by Golden Paw Animal Rescue on North Main and Joplin today.
From the moments that shape our lives to those that shape our days, broadcasters are there, delivering the most trusted news that keeps you informed when it matters. We are your neighbors, a trusted voice, a lifeline. We are broadcasters. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
On the next Modern Family, it's Valentine's Day, and Gloria catches Jay with another woman.
Let him go, Gloria. I love him. Never. He's my husband, and I love him more.
Ladies. And Phil and Claire are doing some sexy role-playing.
Oh, glass elevators should make for an exciting view.
It will for the people on the street.
Oh my God. On the next Modern Family.
Tonight at 10, right here on Fox 14.
Check out bikeallencounty.org for over 40 miles of trails and routes available.
Well, the regular season is over and it's playoff time for the Joplin Outlaws. The Outlaws are at home tonight in the Mink League South Division wildcard game, hosting the Jeff City Renegades. Now, the winner of this one moves on to face Sedalia tomorrow night in the divisional championship game. On top of the first, Christian DeJesus gets the strikeout on the mound for Joplin. More from him in a moment. At bottom of the inning, Outlaws strike first, Ethan Ellis. He didn't hammer it, but it does get down in center. Drake Angeron scores the first run of the ball game. The moments later, runners on the corners for Joplin. Ellis takes off for second, draws the throw. Caleb Fearstake beats the throw back to the plate. Joplin out to a 2-0 lead. Back to DeJesus. 7 strikeouts tonight. Ties an Outlaws single season record with 52 this summer. Jeff City, though, up 3-2 right now in the bottom of the 8th. The Kansas City Royals have had a bit of a disappointing season, but since the All-Star break, they've been all right. Kansas City's on a 5-game winning streak, and at 6-2, they have the best record in all of baseball since the break. And tonight, the Royals are at home kicking off a 4-game series against the division rival White Sox. That one's in the bottom of the 8th. Royals have a 4-2 lead. Jorge Soler is 2 for 4 with 2 solo home runs. Well, after a week of rumors, today it's a reality. Oklahoma and Texas are on their way out of the Big 12. The two schools released a joint statement today notifying the Big 12 they will not be renewing their grants of media rights after they expire in 2025. Now, there's a possibility of the two schools leaving earlier than 2025 if they opt to pay a roughly $75 million penalty, according to Big 12 bylaws. Now, OU and Texas are expected to seek membership in the SEC. The SEC would need 11 of its 14 presidents and chancellors to agree to officially invite the two schools into the league. The Big 12 released a statement this afternoon saying the member schools are, quote, disappointed in the decision from OU and Texas. The conference lost Nebraska to the Big 10 and Colorado to the Pac-12 in 2011. They also lost both Texas A&M and Missouri to the SEC in 2012. Well, training camp is finally here for the Kansas City Chiefs. The rookies, quarterbacks, and a few veterans reported late last week. Today, the rest of the veterans joined the team in St. Joe ahead of Wednesday's first full team practice. Team president Mark Donovan spoke to the media this afternoon about the excitement of being back in St. Joe and preparing for another Super Bowl run.
They're excited to be back. Obviously, when you kick off your 21 season going for your 6th straight AFC West Championship, your 3rd straight Lamar Hunt Trophy, and your 3rd straight Super Bowl appearance, there's a lot to be excited about. This team is excited about it, and I would tell you that our fan base is bouncing off the walls, getting ready, and we appreciate that. It's what makes us go, and it's what really keeps us going.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Nominate your
3